All right, Nico LaHood is here. And Steven Stoli is here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's special because these days he could be in any one of the 50 states.
I could be.
Exactly.
Last night I was in the big city of Boulevardy.
All the way in Boulevardy, wow.
Guadalupe State Park. And,
any particular reason, or just you
well, I was just stop on the way down here.
Oh, okay.
But you know, when you travel
still
around,
driving the RV, right?
Still driving the RV.
Where'd you park it today?
It's across the street in the Korean Baptist Church.
Appreciate that.
Can't get in your parking lot, that's for sure.
No.
But I travel around and see, you know, you start to meet people and everybody becomes friends. And last night I had dinner with a couple, an older couple, who were next to me, and they had cocktails first, and I noticed the man, he had something sticking out of his ear. And I didn't want to say anything and be rude, but his wife finally said, "Honey, you got something in your ear." And she said, "Honey, you've got a suppository in your ear."
Really?
Yeah. And I went, "Oh my gosh, who am I sitting here with?" So he pulls it out, he looks at it, he goes, "Oh, thank God, now I know where I put my hearing aid."
Oh!
Whoa, that one was for Jimmy Park.
Whoa!
Was for Jimmy.
All right, we'll be remembering Jimmy Parks later in this hour here on 550 KTSA on this Gang of Four. 10:52, the news and talk of San Antonio, 550 KTSA. We would be remiss on this Gang of Four today if we didn't remember a really good friend, not only for me personally, but a great friend of our show, and one of the most enthusiastic contributors to Gang of Four whenever he was on, Jimmy Parks, who passed away last weekend. The services for Jimmy are at Porter Loring North this evening from 6 to 8. And 11 o'clock tomorrow morning at Community Baptist Church, also on 1604. And our gang today is made up of people who all had many opportunities to be on this show with Jimmy Parks. And in fact, Steven Stoli, I think you're probably the most connected to him, going back, as you were telling us this week, even to being you know, football teammates at Churchill.
Yeah, 1966. He was 4 years ahead of me, or 3 years ahead of me. But he was the same guy then as he is now. I mean,
Who can say that about their high school years?
Yeah,
right? That's rare.
Well, there's a picture. I mean, I brought the annual here, and there's a picture in there of Jimmy, and that's one I want to show y'all. But he was National Honor Society. He was Key Club. He was, you know, he would knock you down on the football field and cream you and smash you, but he would actually put his hand out and pick you back up again, you know, and pat you on the butt. But there's a picture in there. There's a March of Dimes walk through downtown. He's got 4 girls carrying him on the walk. And they would switch off teams, and they would keep carrying. Well, that's Jimmy. He's a charmer too.
Yeah.
You know, he could charm your. But yeah. But when I saw him again, of course, we hadn't had contact with each other for quite a few years. But when I saw him again, it was just like he was the same guy. He did not change a bit. You know, I just loved him for it.
You got to forgive me for saying this, Nico, but it's rare that we eulogize a lawyer. Right?
Right, it's unfortunate.
Not often this happens.
No.
So why Jimmy Parks?
Well, I think because he was a person before he was a lawyer.
Yeah.
And I tell people this, practicing law is what we do, it's not who we are as people. And Jimmy exemplified that, and he was a man that had tremendous faith. He had a very strong faith in God. He adored his family. His grandchildren were everything, his children were everything, his wife, in 43 years, everything came in Miss Parks, were married. What a wonderful story. And he was just an honorable man, likable guy, sincere, genuine, didn't put on a show for people. And I had fun with him. I worked with him on cases. I had a chance to be on the show with him on the ESPN, Chris and Jason's show, and then also here with you many times. So we worked on cases together.
What was he like in the courtroom?
He was very good, very, very charming, theatrical almost, you know, in the sense of very emotional. He would pull at the heartstrings of jurors. And it was his style. You know, Jimmy's style was Jimmy's style. You know, mine's mine, and everybody has their own style. And Jimmy's was definitely his. And so I haven't seen anything like it before. And so he was very, very effective. Obviously, he was a very successful attorney.
Trish, we were talking among other people on Monday to Susan Reed, and she was very careful in the way she said this. But what I was getting, or what I was sort of hearing between the lines, was that he really took a lot of chances in the courtroom. That what he did in terms of playing up to and making the jury feel like, hey, I'm with you, I'm one of you, was a high-risk thing that not just anybody could pull off. And that probably extended even outside the courtroom, because again, and I think Nico will agree, when you're defending high-profile or controversial defendants, you've got to be very careful. That could, you know, playing to the court of public opinion can work against you very easily. But somehow he managed to make it work for him and for his clients.
He did. He was a unique, one-of-a-kind individual. you may not have respected the people that he defended, but it was a job that he'd chosen, and he was very, very good at it. And the other thing was, though, but although you may not have liked the people that he represented, you loved Jimmy.
Yeah.
I mean, he just is. When I was on the show with you earlier this week, Monday or Tuesday, I talked about the fact, he just had such an incredibly quick wit. And, even on the show, there are things that he would come up with and he would say, and I would just, laugh here at the microphone at things that Jimmy would come up with. So, he was thought-provoking, brilliant, funny. There was no question that he had a passion, beyond compare as far as his family was concerned. And I certainly got that not only during conversations here on the show, but even conversations that we had after the show. Because that was the other thing, is that you just enjoyed talking to Jimmy. You just couldn't help but like the guy.
Right. We all enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it just was so shocking.
It was.
On Sunday when I heard the news, my heart just sank.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things we all remembered was that no Gang of Four with Jimmy Parks could begin without a joke. Jimmy Parks, criminal defense attorney in San Antonio. He's the go-to guy when you need a lawyer. Jimmy, good morning to you.
Jack, I've been given a lot of thought lately as to what I want to do when I grow up.
Yeah.
And the old adage, crime doesn't pay, has convinced me that my law practice must be a crime. So I'm thinking I may be moving to another area. So
you would say this economy is so bad, even crime is not paying.
Yeah, crime is not paying well. That's a good way. But there's so much they take out for withholding and Social Security, and by the time you actually walk away with the money,
right.
There are guys are robbing banks and they're actually taking deductions out of the bank money.
These are tough
It's
times.
a tough time. How long have I been doing
I'm
this?
fine.
And I missed a turn on the way over here. I'm thinking,
you missed it. You got lost coming to the radio
after
station.
all this time, and I thought,
I don't get lost till I'm here.
I remember that saying, wisdom comes with age, and I started thinking, maybe in my case, age has just kind of walked this path along.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying there. I feel that way myself sometimes. Wisdom is running late. What's new with you, though? I understand you were just in Vegas.
Yeah, went out there with Jimbo's soccer team. I'm kind of the team mother. And I'm in charge of,
and he is a mother
and everything. And
he's an ugly mother.
We had a fantastic time. Man, these kids were awesome. They stunned some of the greatest teams in the nation. They're just a phenomenal team. But we had our little trip to the circus, and I'm ready to declare war on them. I'm going to talk to Obama.
You got in some trouble over there. They accused you of stealing towels.
They accused us they gave us a towel.
And people should know by now, Jimmy has stolen all the towels he needs. He wouldn't be still stealing towels at this point.
They gave us the towels, and then came in and had an investigation.
By the way, the towels in hotels are not that great anymore. They're not really worth stealing.
Not at Circus.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that if you look at the towels at Circus, they have stolen them from Mandalay Bay.
Oh, well, there you go then. That's all right.
I think I was on that show when he said that.